Today we are going to start a new chapter from political science. Chapter 4, the name of the chapter is Gender, Religion and Caste. So in this chapter we are going to learn about the three kinds of social differences that take the form of social division and inequalities. As we all know that social differences exist in every society. Differences can be there in a society in the form of gender, religion, caste, language, culture, and many other forms. Okay, so in this chapter, our main focus shall be on the three main kind of social difference, namely gender, religion, and caste. Okay, because these three social differences exist in every society, and here in this chapter we shall discuss about how these social difference take the form of social division and how it also creates inequalities in the society. Okay, so under gender and politics, if you see, gender difference is something which is prevalent in every society. So in every society there are males and there are females. Okay, so male and female, this difference is it's more of a it's not just a biological difference, but this differences here, it's more created by the society. Okay, so here we shall be talking about how this gender difference, okay, the difference between the male and the female, how does this difference go on about creating a division in the society. And we shall be talking about how it leads to inequalities. Particularly here we shall be talking about the inequalities of the women. Okay, so if you see, the first topic that we have is what is the sexual division of labor. Okay, so sexual division of labor भनेको के हो भन्दाखेरि it is a system in which the work inside the home, okay, that means घरभित्रको जुन चाहिँ काम हुन्छ, for example cooking, cleaning, looking after the children, okay, washing the clothes, these works are either done by the women of the family or it is organized by them through domestic helpers. That means the work which is inside the home, it is done by the women. Okay, and the work which is outside the home, okay, that is expected to be done by the men. Alright, so simple word ma sexual division of labor भनेको चाहिँ division of labor or division of work on the basis of the gender. That means there are certain works जुन चाहिँ the works which are inside the home, it is meant to be done by the women, and the work outside the home, okay, घर बाहिरको जुन चाहिँ काम छ, that is to be done by the men. Okay, so के हुँदैछ यहाँनिर, work is divided between the men and the women. So this is what you understand by the sexual division of labor. Okay, so if you see this picture, here from the picture itself you will be able to understand, and many of you may associate yourself with this picture. Okay, so what do you see in this picture? Who does all the work in your home on a regular basis? Okay, the very obvious answer would be you would say either a mother or your sister or your aunt, okay, and so on. Okay, because most of the work inside the home are done by the women. Okay, so just for example, यहाँनिर हामीले यो पिक्चरमा we can see a woman who is feeding the child, I mean taking care of the child and also cooking. There's another picture where a woman is shown washing the utensils. There's another picture where the woman is shown washing clothes. So these are the works which are done by the women on a regular basis in every household. Similarly, from a very young age, the girls are taught to do the household chores. Okay, now why is this? Okay, why is it that the girls are taught to do all the household works like cooking, washing clothes and washing utensils, etc. Okay, because being a girl, they are expected to do this or learn this work which they have to do inside the home when they become older. All right, so UN reports, in fact, they tell that they tell us that girls spend 40% more time on chores than the boys. That means there are, the girls are spending 40% more work, more time doing the work compared to that of a boys. That means केटाहरूले भन्दाखेरि केटीहरूले 40% ज्यादा के गर्छ, काम गर्छ. All right, what do you see in this picture? Yes, you can see a bunch of men who are, engaged in cooking. All right, so are men not capable to do this household work? That means केटाहरूले घरको काम गर्नु सक्छ कि सक्दैन. Okay, so it is not that, the men cannot do the household works like cooking, washing clothes, okay, taking care of the children. It's not that, the men ले यो कामहरू गर्नु सक्दैन. It is simply that the men think that, okay, that these works are meant to be done by the women. Okay, they simply don't do this works because यो काम चाहिँ कसले गर्नुपर्ने हो, केटीले गर्नुपर्ने हो भनेर चाहिँ it is there in their mind. Or we are living, in a stereotypical society जहाँनिर womenहरूको एउटा image छ that they have to do all these works inside the home like cooking and all that. Okay, so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि the men simply think that these works inside the home are to be done by the women. So that's why unaru capable cha, they can do this work, but also they do not do this work. Okay, but when these jobs are paid, when men are getting paid for doing these jobs like cooking and all, we see a lot of men are ready to take up this works. Okay, for example, if you see most of the tailors you go to, or most of the hotels that you see, you have seen in most of these big hotels, or even in the small restaurants, we see these cooks or the chefs are mostly men. Okay, a tailor is mostly a man. Okay, so they are doing all this cooking job, they are doing all the stitching work. Okay, but why are they doing this job? Okay, the reason is because they are getting paid for it. All right, so it's not that men are not capable of doing the household work. They are capable of doing the household work. That means they can do the household work, okay, like cooking, washing utensils and so on, but they don't do it because they feel that it is the work of the women to do the work inside the home. Okay, but यही कामको लागि if they are getting paid, है, बाहिर यही कामको लागि यो मेनहरूले, if they are getting paid, if they are getting salary, then they are ready to do this job. Okay, so this is the stereotypical society, or this is the kind of society we are living in, जहाँनिर women are subjected to do all the household work. Okay, there is a particular kind of work which is defined for women, and there is a particular kind of work that is defined for the men. So केटीले गर्ने काम यो हो, केटाले गर्ने काम यो हो भनेर छुट्टाएको छ. So that's what we were discussing about in under the sexual division of labor. Okay, so जसरी केटाहरूले पनि केटीहरूको काम गर्न सक्छ या हाउसहोल्ड काम गर्न सक्छ, in the same manner the girls or the women are also capable of doing work outside the home. That means even the women can do the work outside the home. Okay, it is not that womenहरूले बाहिरको काम गर्नु सक्दैन. Okay, for example, in most of the rural household, this is a very common picture that you can see. Okay, we see a lot of women who are collecting fuel wood, है, दाउरा बटुल्न जान्छ. In कतिवटा places, in most of the places, where women go or they travel long distances to fetch water. Okay, women are taking care of the animals. They are doing a lot of work जहाँनिर चाहिँ a lot of के चाहिन्छ, energy चाहिन्छ, a lot of hard work is needed. Okay, they are doing work in the fields also. All right, so the question is, are they treated equally? Okay, is their work getting recognized? Is their work being valued? The answer is no. Okay, women also work outside the homes, right, in addition to their daily household works. Okay, so in this picture you can see a lot of women are doing the work in the construction field, right. There is similarly a picture where a woman is shown doing some kind of embroidery work. Okay, so there are many cottage industry जहाँनिर womenहरूले यसरी work गर्छ. Okay, but these women who are working outside their home, they are also carrying out the household works. Okay, उनीहरूले बाहिर सँगसँगै बाहिर पनि काम गर्दैछ, but they are also doing their everyday responsibility जुन चाहिँ छ घरको household work, जस्तै cooking, taking care of the children, fetching water. They are also doing that work. Okay, so that means they are doing the work inside the home and they are equally capable of working outside their home. Okay, so what was the effect of the sexual division of labor? So यसको sexual division of labor हुँदाखेरि यसको effect चाहिँ के भयो भन्दाखेरि see, although women constitute half of the population, but still, because of this sexual division of labor ले गर्दाखेरि there was a very, little role of women in the public life. स्पेसली पोलिटिक्समा हेऱ्यो भने वुमेनको जुन चाहिँ रोल छ त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै के भयो, मिनिमम भयो. Okay, very few women who were seen participating in the public life. Okay, earlier if you see, only men were allowed to participate in the public life. बाहिरको लाइफमा public affairsमा खालि मेनले मात्रै participate गर्थ्यो. Only men were allowed to vote. Okay, in fact also to hold political office, hey, only men were allowed to do so. Okay, so that was the effect of the sexual division of labor. Okay, and that is the reason why women in different part of the world, okay, they organize movements, they उनीहरूले agitationsहरू launch गर्यो, and they started to fight for getting equal rights for the women. Okay, and finally because of this, women were able to get voting rights. Okay, for example, last year we read about the French Revolution. Okay, so there we read that from the very beginning of the revolution, women were active participants. Women actively participate in the French Revolution to bring about a change in France. Okay, but despite of that, the Constitution of France le first ma voting rights women lai grant nei garena. Okay, so after, it was only after much of movement, कति एउटा agitationsहरू launch गरेर मात्रै, after a lot of struggle मात्रै womenहरूले voting rights they started to get. Okay, so most of these agitations भयो, most of this rallies भयो, movements भयो, these movements demanded on enhancing the political and the legal status of women. Okay, they demanded that politically पनि women should get some kind of rights. Okay, legally पनि women some kind of protection पाउनु पर्छ. Okay, they should get some kind of equal status. That means they should get an equal treatment like the men. Okay, these movements also demanded improvement in the educational system of the women, and also demanded for better career opportunities. And कतिवटा radical women movement later, they also started demanding for equality, not just in personal life but also in the family life as well. Okay, family life ma पनि women they should be treated as equal to their male counterparts. Males जतिकै equal बराबरको rights पाउनुपर्छ. They should also get property rights. They should also be treated. Their voices should also be heard. So this were the main demands of the women movement. Okay, and all these movements जुन चाहिँ womenहरूको rights को लागि भयो, political rights को लागि, legal rights को लागि, educational rights को लागि, all these movements came to be known as the feminist movement. All right, so let's look in meaning of the word feminist. So feminist भनेको चाहिँ, it is a woman or a man who believes in the equal rights and opportunities for women and men. Okay, so all the men and women who believe that men and women should be treated equally, they should have equal rights, they are called the feminist. All right, so political expression of gender division, political mobilization. Okay, that means जब politically women को issues raise हुन थाल्यो. Okay, gender division को issues raise हुन थाल्यो, a lot of political mobilization ले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ today what we see is that women उनीहरूको जुन चाहिँ role छ, it started to improve. उनीहरूको जुन चाहिँ status छ, it started to improve in the public life. Okay, as a result, today we can find women taking up different kind of jobs. We can see women working as a scientist, doctors, engineers, lawyers. Okay, talk about any field, you will find a woman there. Okay, they are they have proved themselves that they are equivalent to the men. Okay, that means all these professions, all these jobs जुन चाहिँ पहिला केटाहरूले मात्रै गर्न सक्थ्यो, केटाहरूको लागि मात्रै रिजर्भ थियो, there also we have seen women doing very very well. So let's take the example of the Scandinavian countries. So Denmark, Norway and Sweden are the Scandinavian countries. Finland and Iceland are also considered as the Scandinavian countries. So Scandinavian countries, it is actually a group of countries where mostly Scandinavian language is spoken. All right. So amongst the Scandinavian countries, if you see Norway, Sweden, or Finland, Majid, the percentage of women in public sphere, public life is very, very high. Okay, so here you will see women in politics, talk about medicine, teaching, any field. Okay, here you will see the participation of women is very, very high. Okay, so that is about the Scandinavian countries, and all this is because, since the time women issues were reflected in politics, the status of women has seen some kind of change over the time. Okay,